Graeme, just raise your hand to ask a question, please, for those.
Graeme, what's the status of Jacques and Vernon and all the various players?
I mean, I think it's moving to a positive light. I think Vernon is ready to go. I mean, Jakes is coming along nicely, but we'll wait to see how he comes through today and tomorrow morning. Hopefully when we wake up tomorrow morning, everyone will be ready to go. That'd be nice.
Graeme, you've obviously had the news. I wonder if you could just take the opportunity to say a few words about Ricky Ponting and his career.
Yeah, I mean, I think initially it was a bit of a shock, I think, after the week, and played a lot against Ricky, and certainly the most competitive man I think I've ever played against. I think the way he played the game, the intensity with which he played the game, and is a credit to him. I think he's always represented Australia with a lot of dignity and a lot of skill. You know, I think, you know, from a South African perspective and a personal perspective, we certainly have a lot of respect for the man, and we'll wish him best after these 5 days and whatever he gets involved in. But I'm sure he's very proud of what he's been able to achieve in his career, and I think he's been an asset to the game of cricket, which is good.
Graeme, do you feel that, I mean, I don't imagine the Australians needed much more motivation coming into this match. That's important, but you think that might just help them up?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, as I say, that's not for us to really worry about. Our job is getting ourselves ready and competing. So we haven't really looked too much into that sort of stuff. I mean, I think for everybody, you know, from what you tell me, you know, it came as a shock to the Australian team also. So, you know, from our perspective, nothing really changes in terms of preparing for this Test match.
Yes. I'm probably putting you on the spot here, but is there any sort of instance that you remember, sort of your best memory of playing against Ponting or
Yeah, no, I think Ricky initially taught us a few lessons. You know, he was a world-class batter, you know, and often took the game away from us, and certainly did that on a few occasions. I mean, obviously, of late, we've been able to get a little bit of our own back, but you know, I think my early memories were of him, you know, as I say, really competitive and never really ever giving an inch as a player, you know. Never really been the most vocal guy out in the field, but just you knew he was always there playing the game hard and competitively, and always making an impact on the Test match.
Graeme, have you had a chance to look at the wicket? Any role for spin here in Perth?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there are some good hot days forecast through the Test match. You know, it has got a little bit of grass on now. How much role it's going to play, I don't know. But I think that we would go with a spinner, yes.
Graeme, with regards to Jacques Kallis, I understand that it's not yet certain whether he will play, but where will he bat? Will he bat, if he does play, will he bat in his normal spot? Or will he look to...
I would think if he's fit that he would bat in his normal spot, yes.
Graeme, who's going to bowl Jacques over?
I've been bowling a little bit of medium pace in the last few days in the hotel, man. We obviously need to look at the balance of our team and decide on that initially. I think that is something we want to win this Test match, and you know, you've got to have the bowlers and the armoury to do that. You know, that is our big test, to take 20 wickets in the next 5 days to win this Test match. So we want to give ourselves the best opportunity to do that.
Graeme, a bit of a two-parter. Does that mean that Kallis will be able to field for the entire match? And also your thoughts on Sybil and Hilfenhaus being dropped out of the Australian tour?
Yeah, well, if Jakes is picked, he'll have to, because we're not going to get any substitutes for him. So we don't intend on playing the game with 10 men. We've already done that twice in this series. Yeah, I know, but I mean, we won't take the decision lightly. If he's not fit, then we will look to someone else to play his role in the game. But ideally, we would want to have someone like Jacques Kallis, you know, even if he can bat, is fit to play a role in the game. Yeah, I mean, I've just heard the news now, so I haven't had a chance to digest it, but they've obviously made that decision. It's a whole new attack and a whole new mindset from a batting perspective going into this game. You know, two left-handers now involved in the game, you know, different style of bowler. So as a batting unit, just mentally, we need to make sure that we prepared for that. We will be. And how that, you know, will put pressure on Australia, I don't know. You know, how those guys react into their roles so quickly with so many changes, that might be the interesting thing for them. I'm sure all their guys will be motivated to do well. But how they can string that together as a unit over the 5 days is going to be interesting to see.
Graeme, I imagine it's been quite a hard few days for Imran. Just how have you helped him through this period, and might Robbie come into contention?
Yeah, I think Robbie's come into contention. I mean, obviously Imran, in his own admittance, hasn't performed that well over the last Test match, and I think his confidence is a little bit low. And I think our job is really just to rebuild that and give him to some direction. Going back to South Africa now. In terms of the role that he's going to play and how he can get back to hopefully performing at his best. So I mean, we all have bad days and tough Test matches, and I guess Imran is a character that want to show that he can bounce back from that. And as a leadership group, you just want to give him the best opportunity and direction to do that.
And in terms of the balance of the side, whoever you choose, it looks like you'll be going back to the 6 specialist batsmen that you set up that you had before Boucher's injury.
Yeah, ideally, if we need someone to cover Callis's overs, that's something that we need to look at. Top 6 to do a role and bowlers to do theirs. So yeah, that is something we're definitely considering going into this Test match.
Just back on Callis, is he any chance at all to bowl?
No.
Definitely not.
No.
Okay, just in terms of his value as a batsman, we saw what he did in Adelaide. How much value did he add to the batting lineup from your perspective?
Yeah, he's immense. I mean, look, I think he's batting really well at the moment. He's shown that in the series. His experience, his record, speaks for itself. To have him at number 4 for us definitely gives us a lot of batting strength. And the solid nature with what he brings to our top 6 is crucial for us. So we do everything possible to get him fit and mentally to know that he's hungry to play, and he's shown that definitely in the way that he's gone about his rehab and his stuff, and he wants to get on the park and perform. So that's great for us.
Do you feel that your bowling attack regained a bit of confidence, from a more almost normal type of effort during that second innings in Adelaide? Because surely you must feel a bit chastened after the first innings, in Brisbane and the first innings in Adelaide.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that we haven't been able to string good enough performances for long enough in this. We've bowled well in patches, but we haven't been able to do it for long enough. I think the wickets have been good, and we haven't stacked up enough together and often enough. I think Australia have attacked us at the right times, which have put us under a little bit of pressure. And I think they certainly will take confidence out of the fact that we were able to create some opportunities. But I think, for us, it's about getting it right now the next 5 days. And we certainly know we've got that capability, and hopefully it will all click for us over the next 5 days.
Graeme, one of the key pillars of success was consistency in selection, and you've also perhaps changed that a little bit because of injury. How much has that affected the ability to win and or even compete as you like to?
Yeah, look, I mean, I think there was always going to be a challenge along the way. I mean, all of us were hoping that it wouldn't come in one of the toughest tests away from home. I think we've played eight of our 9 tests away from home this year, and we haven't lost a test match. So I think it's been a pretty strong year for South African cricket, and we're here with an opportunity 5 days away from being able to win another series in Australia. I think many teams dream of that, coming to this place, and there's a few of us sitting in that change room that have the opportunity to do it twice, and that's our goal. So there's big motivation, and it's quite clear what lies ahead of us now is clarity in the next 5 days, and we know what it's going to take. The key is obviously to put that into play out in the middle. We have had a few disruptions on this trip, but we've scrapped hard, and we're quite confident that Australia have played really well in this series, and we haven't been in our best, and we're still here. And I think that's the strong factor we can take out of the last 2 test matches.
Graham, Mike Hussey and Michael Clark, between them, have scored many more runs than the rest of Australia's batsmen combined. They're clearly the threat. They're quite contrasting players. What are you going to do about them?
Hopefully knock them over for no runs would be nice. I think, obviously they're batting really well. Batting at 5 or 6, we haven't, we've had them under pressure, and they've countered really well against us on a number of occasions. So, I think probably more Michael than Mike Hussey's walked in at good positions after big partnerships, but I think Michael has played extremely well this year. And I feel at times we've been able to create opportunities against them, but just not being able, as I said, not being able to string those together for long enough has probably been our challenge. I think every over we've bowled a bad ball, which has kept us under pressure. When you're going at fours and halves, fives, it doesn't really allow you to control the game and to manipulate the game. And that's something we haven't done well in the series, and something that probably Michael and Mike Hussey have done extremely well. So hopefully we'll get hold of that game like we did at times in Adelaide with the ball, and really be able to control it over the next 5 days.
Graeme,
Last two, please.
I mean, seriously, it can be a distraction when somebody does something that big.
Yeah, but I think the nature of the group is we've kind of moved on to this challenge. I mean, Faf was a big part in getting us here to this point where we have that opportunity, and I think he sees it with everybody else. There's a real good calmness and clarity around the group going into this test match, and I know Faf would obviously have a lot of confidence going into this test match and want to build on that, I would hope. And I sense that he's in a good space and that he's fairly chilled out at the moment, and looking forward to hopefully performing well.